Welcome back and welcome if you're new. In today's video, we're going to be installing a brand new head unit onto my Tacoma. We're going to be showing you guys exactly how to install it. We're going to show you guys the features and why this one is a lot different than other ones you've seen on the market. So let's just go ahead and dive right into it and show you guys. Alright you guys, so before we get into the installation, I want to go ahead and explain to you guys what comes in the box and what tools you're going to need to do this install. Don't be intimidated because when you do open it, it's going to look like a lot of wires, but it's really not that hard. So in the box, you're of course going to get your brand new head unit, which is right here. Keep in mind, make sure to stay tuned until the end of the video. We're going to show you guys all the features and you could do some pretty cool things on this. So say you guys are out camping or say you guys are on a long road trip, stuff like that. This is really going to come in handy. So it's not just a regular head unit. You can go ahead and go on Netflix, YouTube. You could even play some video games if I'm not mistaken. If I figure that out, I'll show you guys in this video. And you could do a bunch of other things, which like I said, stay tuned to the end of the video. So it's going to come with this whole assembly. And as you guys can tell, it also comes with the trim panel. The one on your Tacoma, you're not going to need it anymore, but you are going to need to save it because you do need to pull some stuff off, which I'll explain exactly what. The next thing that's going to come inside the package is going to be these trim panels here, which you're going to need a couple more tools than this, but it's cool that they actually offer that. Another cool thing that it comes with is going to be a couple zip ties. I'd highly recommend getting a couple more just to be on the safe side. It's also going to come with a couple of these harnesses that you're going to see here. For example, this is going to be for the SIM card. So if you guys do have like a cell phone provider, you can go there, you can order another SIM card, which I believe you're going to have to pay monthly, but it'll make it an all-in-one unit. So that way it's a standalone unit, I should say. Versus like how I use mine is with my hotspot from my phone. So keep that in mind. You have two options on running this. It's going to come with two harnesses inside this package, meaning it's going to work for a 2016 to a 2019 Tacoma. So if you guys do have that radio style, it'll come in here. And it's also going to be working for a 2020 to a 2023 Tacoma, which is what my truck is. I have a 2020 Tacoma. So if your guys' radio does look like this one right here, it's going to be the same installation for you guys. It's going to be a user manual, really good instructions because some of these companies don't do them this clear. It's like all nice and pictured and laid out. It's really, really nice. And it's going to come with a warranty card as well. But now for the tools that you're going to need to get is going to be a size 10mm socket with an extension. You don't have to have a drill, but this is just going to make my life easier. And then the next thing you're going to want to go ahead and get is either a wire puller or just some sort of metal clothes hanger like this, and then you open it up, make it nice and straight. This is going to help you run some wires. You don't really need it. You can kind of stick your hands, but this just makes it a little bit easier. And then the next thing that you're going to want to go ahead and grab is going to be some zip ties. Like I said, the kit does come with a couple, but sometimes you mess up or sometimes you need a couple more. So it's always best to just have a couple of these handy. And then another thing that you're going to want to go ahead and get is going to be some black tape, just like this. Mine is actually felt tape, which is a little bit more expensive, but it's just a little bit cleaner because this is what the dealers use. I may not need this one, but this is going to be double-sided sticky tape 3M VHB. This is just going to be just in case I end up sticking the GPS and it doesn't stick on too well. I can throw this bad boy on and it'll never move. So like I said, this, you don't really need it, but I'm having it just in case. All right, you guys, so now that we're inside the vehicle, what I'm going to be doing is we're going to go ahead and now remove the old radio. One thing you are going to notice is I do have an aftermarket radio on mine. Only reason I'm switching it is because I want to try something different out and I like the features on that brand new one. So what I'm going to be doing for you guys, just so I don't confuse you guys on this aftermarket one versus your factory one, I'm going to go ahead and roll an old clip that I have already previously filmed on how to remove a 2020 and up Tacoma radio. It should be similar for the 2016 to 2019. So you're going to repeat those same steps on removing that. So once I show you guys those previous clips that I filmed in the past, then we'll get back to you guys and start installing the new one. With that being said, the first step is going to be removing the negative of your battery with just a size 10mm socket. After that, let's go ahead and now roll the clip. The 2020 and up Tacomas are going to have this style radio, so you can kind of follow the process. It should be exactly the same for you. The only difference is if you guys do have JBL, the one we're doing it on today is going to be a non-JBL, so keep that in mind. One thing to know before starting this process, anytime working with electrical, you want to go ahead and disconnect the negative of your battery, which is just going to be a size 10mm socket, and it comes right off. So once you finish up that process, what you want to do with your hands is go like this, your 4 fingers on each hand, put them right underneath this gray trim panel here, and then from there with your thumbs, you want to go ahead and put them here, and you literally just pop up, just like that, and it should release. So once you do that, you want to flip it on its backside, and you want to make sure that all the red clips are still intact. Now, if you're missing one, it's probably because it's still stuck in there. Take it out, put it back, because you're going to need it later on. After you've done so, you're going to have 4 bolts, one here, one there, and there. They're going to be a size 10mm socket, and you also want to get an extension. If you don't, you're going to be too close to the screen here, and you're going to damage it. Now that all 4 are out, you can go ahead and now remove the radio. Be careful, there is a bunch of wires back there. You don't want to pull it too hard and rip anything. So just like that, nice and careful. If you guys do have like a microfiber towel, you can lay it down right here on your shifter and lay this down. All right, you guys, so now that you have the radio pulled out like this, you're going to see a bunch of clips. So in this step here, you want to go ahead and now just start removing everything. Everything should have like little tabs up top, as you can see. You should be able to just put your thumb in there and pull it back. In the instance that you can't, you can go ahead and get like a small flathead. You stick it in there and it should help you release it. So just keep that in mind. So now that you finished up everything, let's go ahead and take this radio out and let's start working on the brand new one. We'll show you guys how it looks. So now that we have all the harnesses exposed, these should be all the factory ones. We're gonna go back into the garage and start connecting some stuff onto the brand new radio. So let's go. So we're gonna start connecting. So as you can see, this is the upside right here. You can see the name right there. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over for you guys so you can follow really easily. So once again, the connectors we're going to be using are going to be inside this bag right here. You're going to have CB047 and CB004-1. So if you guys do have a 2020 and up Tacoma, you guys are going to be using the CB047. So when you pull out the 2 harnesses, it is going to give you the actual number of which is which. So this one on this side is CB047. Once you've located the harness that you're going to need, you're going to start connecting it onto here. For example, this one here, as you can see, it's on this side where the box is. It's going to go right here on the power supply. So you connect it right here at the bottom, right next to that fuse. And you want to make sure it clicks in all the way. After that, you're going to locate the antenna harness, which is going to be right here. It has like a blue and a black wire. You're going to connect it into that right there. Just like that. Make sure it's clicked in all the way. All right, you guys, so now that you guys connected those 2, this one's the main power supply, and then this one over here is going to be for the antenna. Now you guys should have some extra connectors left over, as you can see there. Those are going to be for the truck, so we're going to put those off to the side for now and continue. So if you look right up top right here, you're going to have a blue, and you're going to have 2 red caps right here. So take off the red caps for now. That you won't need anymore. So the first one right here is going to be for the GPS antenna. That one's going to be the one that has this blue connector here, and that's going to be your GPS antenna there. So you want to go ahead and connect that. It only goes in one way, and same thing, just make sure it clicks. Once it's clicked, we can move on to the next step now. So the next one, you want to go ahead and now get your 4G antenna, which is going to be this long one right here with the silver connector. And same thing, this one won't have an actual push-in, but this one's going to be like a screw-in. So we'll put it right there. And then we'll go ahead and screw this in. You don't want to over-tighten, but make sure it's nice and tight to the point where it's not going to fall off. You don't want to be driving around and then this thing flops off. So that's done. And then you're going to have one more right here. That one's going to be for the Wi-Fi antenna, which is this little one here. It's going to be the same thing. You pop it in, and then you screw it on. And same thing, don't over-tighten. Just make sure it's tight on there to where it won't fall off. Alright, you guys, so now that we have that, the next step is actually moving on to the truck. You can start connecting all the harnesses. For me, what I'm going to be doing for you guys is I'm actually going to connect all the harnesses out here. Reason I'm going to do that is so that way you guys can see exactly where everything goes. If I start doing it on the truck, it's going to be a little bit harder for me to record for you guys. So I'm going to show you guys here. So first step, what you're going to want to go ahead and do is get your audio output and cam in connector. It's going to be this one here. You're going to see there's a green one, 2 yellows, 2 reds, and 2 whites. And the connector should be black just like this. You're going to want to go ahead and connect that right here on this first slot. So it's going to be super easy. It just clips right in just like that. Nothing hard about it. For the next step, what you're going to want to go ahead and do is go ahead and get the connector that has the purple right here. It's going to be USB 1. So this one right here is going to be connected right about there on the next slot. Same thing, it clicks right in and it only goes in one way, just like that. Next thing, you're going to want to go ahead and now get your SIM card slot holder, which is this right here, with a light blue or teal connector. That's going to go on the next slot there. Same thing, you want to go ahead and push it in, make sure it clicks. Once it clicks, you can move on to the next one. So for the next one, you want to go ahead and get your USB 2, and that one should have 2 USB females with a brown connector. That one will go in the next slot right there. And same thing, you just go ahead and click into it, just like that, only goes in one way. For the next step, what you need to do is go ahead and now grab your mic input. It's going to be like this, like an audio female, and then a gray connector. This one is going to go right at the bottom of the brown one. So right about there, make sure it clicks, only goes in one way. And then for the last one, you're going to get the aux input. That one should have a couple things like this. So it should have a red, a yellow, a white, and then right here it's going to say brake, ground, and CCD plus 12V with a blue connector. And that one will go right under here. Same thing, make sure it clicks. And then coming back to the audio cable, the female one, that's where your mic will go into. So as you can see, it has the male input. It connects right about there. And this is where you'd route somewhere on your truck, wherever you want the mic to be. For me, I'll figure it out once we're there. Okay, so now that we've connected everything, you can see here, we have one more thing to do before we actually jump into the truck. So coming right over here on the factory one, you're going to notice there's a bunch of red clips that kind of go around it. We're going to need to remove those clips, transfer them over to the new one. Another thing, we're also going to need to remove the vent here and this vent here. So go ahead and grab your panel removal tool that came provided. And for the vents, it's going to be pretty easy. There's going to be slots. So there's going to be a slot here, a slot back here, and there'll be another slot on this side. There's going to be 3 total. What you do is you get the panel removal tool right in there, and you pull up on the vent, as you can see right there, just like that. It's out of the clip, and you do that while holding this up. So now that you have it kind of pulled up, you're going to want to do it to all the other 3, and be really cautious because this thing can go flying. So once you pulled it out, this should be intact and exactly the way you took it off. Coming to the other side over here, you're going to want to put it exactly the same. So you're going to notice there's a clip there, clip there, clip there. They're going to clip into these 3 there. So exactly the way you took it off, you want to put it back in. And it should just slide into place. It shouldn't be too hard, but if you need the panel removal tool to open the little slots up, you can also utilize that. And it's in place, as you can see. And we'll do the same thing to the other one. Open up the little slot. And do it to all 3, being cautious so it doesn't go flying. Right, and then as you can see, it's right here. Let's transfer this one over, coming right over here. Same thing, carefully applying, and it clips right in. So now coming back over here, we're going to now move on to the red clips. Same thing, these do go flying, so be really, really careful on how you take these off. They're kind of weird, I'll be honest with you. What I usually do is I'll grab one tool here, and then on the other side, I'm sure there's an easier way, but this is how I do it. And then on the other side, you just unclip it as well. And I'm going to work my way. It's going to take some time, but I should be able to get them all out. Coming right over here, you insert them exactly how you took them off. They go right in, just like that. So I'm going to continue the process, and I'll get back to you guys. All right, you guys, so now that we have all the red clips, vents are in, everything's good to go, all the connectors are there, we could go ahead and now start connecting stuff over here. So you basically just kind of plug and play and match everything up. One thing I did want to let you guys know is on this right here, which is like the mic, that one, you want to probably route it first before doing this. And that's where, if you guys remember, if you guys do have a wire puller or just a metal clothes hanger to open up, that's where it's going to help you. Because if you want to run it up top over here somewhere, you can use this to route the wire. That's what that was for. And then the black tape was to make it hold onto that harness. So just letting you guys know. Now that we're inside the truck, everything's done. We have all the vents installed. We have the little red clips going around. So now if you guys remember, I told you guys about these last two wires that we had. So this one you want to go ahead and grab. You're going to notice it has that gray connector with the male USB. Over here on the factory harness, you're going to have a gray one. So go ahead and connect the gray with the gray. It should only go in one way. Make sure it clicks. So once you got that connected, this blue one we're not going to be utilizing. We're going to put that off to the side. And this right here is going to go connected to one of those USBs that you had connected onto the radio. I'm going to grab the single one and connect it there. Just like that. Next, what we're going to be grabbing is the main harness that we had connected earlier, which is this one here. Should be these three right here. So these are going to go connected over here. So basically what you just need to do is start connecting stuff and see what fits. So this one should be for the antenna. It should connect in one way. Just like that, as you saw. And then the next one, let's see. Alright. So now from that harness, I got this black one here, which is going to be here. So on this next step, we're going to be utilizing some of the connectors here. So if you notice, these are the two that connect into the factory harness, and you should have one that says cam VIN, which is this yellow one, and then these other two should say aux L and aux R in. So we're going to be using these. Looking over here on the radio, we're going to grab the one that comes out of the blue connector. We're going to be grabbing the aux R and aux L in, and those are going to be red and white. This yellow one, leave it off to the side. So we're going to be connecting those two here, just color match them. So white with white, take off the cap, red with red. Now coming back to this cam one, we're going to leave this harness alone. We're going to grab this other harness, the one that has a black connector down there. And you're going to notice there's a green one, two red, two white, and two yellow. So let's locate the yellows. You want to go ahead and grab the one that says cam in. Open that up, and you connect those two together. One thing to take note on, if you guys want, and what I would do is get yourself, like I said, I'm going to be using dealer tape, but if you guys have regular black electrical tape, I'd recommend taping these off. Tape one, and one. Don't tape them all together. Tape them separately. A little bit more expensive, but cleaner, and dealers use this. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And then after that, up next, now that that's connected, I'm going to come back over here and locate the one that has the two female USBs, the brown connector. I'm actually going to disconnect it now. And what I'm going to be doing with this is, if you see right here, what I did is I actually popped off one of the blanks that were here. As you can see, there's nothing there now. And I'm going to be running my USBs through here. Just like that. And for me, I know it's a little bit on the ghetto side, but I'm going to be leaving them here. And that way I know when I want to use them, I could. What I'm going to do, just so they're not moving around, probably going to tape these together, put a double-sided sticky tape there, double-sided there, and I'm going to pop them in there just so it looks a little bit more clean, something like that. And when I need to use them, they'll be there. So the other brown wire, I'm going to reconnect it right up top right here. And the microphone, going to go ahead and now disconnect that one from here. And this one, I'm probably going to be routing right here somewhere. And we'll see how that works out. I'm going to pop this off here. Just like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my metal clothes hanger. And I'm going to route that down. So metal clothes hanger. I'm going to see if I can fill it. So as you guys can see, metal clothes hanger is here and here. And what I'm going to do with the mic right here, I'm going to grab the end that connects to the radio. I'm going to tape it here. This is just an easy little trick you guys can use. I'm going to grab regular electrical tape and tape it onto this end. Now that we're there, we're going to pull it back up towards the top. And this is always the fun part. So here it is, you guys. So now I'll take the tape off and reconnect it to the stereo. So now that's done. And like I said, this bad boy, I'll probably mount it right up top right here. The mic, inside you're gonna have two different options. So you can go ahead and grab the clip one, you push it in there and you can clip it onto something, or like me, I'm gonna be utilizing the one that has the tape on it. So same thing, you just pop it into the ball. You remove the double-sided sticky tape that comes provided. Now, like I was saying earlier, the reason I said to get double-sided sticky tape, I don't really trust this one that it comes with. It's very weak. So over the time with sun, it'll fall. But for now, just for demonstration purposes, I'll leave it as is. And if you come right over here, I'm gonna be mounting it right about there. Just like that. Put some pressure. And then the wire, I'll bring it all out. And with the access, what you could do is you can go ahead and grab it. And all this excess wire that you don't need just dangling back there, go ahead and grab one of the zip ties that came provided, or if you have your own zip ties, and just zip tie this. You should be left with, you're gonna notice you're gonna have a connector here left over, these two connectors left over. So you can go ahead and now put these to the side. You're not gonna utilize those. And right now what you wanna do is you wanna go ahead and turn on your truck. So reconnect your battery and then test it out, make sure everything works. If you see that it does, then you could go ahead and now kind of put everything back together as is. One thing I did want to take note on is you also have an HDMI port right here as well. So if you want, you can always connect something there. You could do like a Fire Stick or anything like that, or put an extension, route it into your glove box so you can utilize it later. I don't really have anything to put to it, so I'm going to leave mine as is. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on and test it out. I've tested it out. I know it works. Remember, you're going to have a couple connectors left over. Go ahead and put them off to the side. What I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to zip tie all this stuff together just so it looks nice and clean back there. I don't want like a rat's nest and it looks scary to me. So that's what I'm going to do right now really quick. All right, now that everything's kind of together. Up next, what I'm going to be doing is this SIM card. I'm not going to use it for now. Maybe later I'll buy a chip for it. So now I'm going to be putting the GPS and the 4G antenna up top over here. It's going to be kind of hard to see it on camera, but I'm going to mount one probably on this side here. And I'll mount the other one on this side. Reinstall this whole thing. Now that everything's installed, we're going to go ahead and show you guys some of the features that come with this thing. Like I had said earlier, this radio is going to look more like a factory look, but let's show you guys the features. So now on my Tacoma, I do now have navigation, where before on the previous one, I had no navigation at all. So now I can utilize this when I need it. Another cool thing is you can adjust all the sound. You're gonna notice it does have, like, if you guys know how to mess with this stuff, I don't, so I'm gonna leave it alone. And another cool feature that you have is, of course, you can listen to the radio, but you have all these other apps. You can go on your Google Chrome if you want to download some stuff, which right now we were downloading some games. You have a calculator, so if you guys do want to do some math, There you go. You have a clock. You have a bunch of other things like Facebook, Gmail, and if you look right over here, you can go on your Instagram, you can go on Netflix. So there it is. And the touch is actually really, really good. So as you guys can see, I'm moving it and it's working very easily. The screen actually looks really good. Let me go ahead and play one of the movies just so you guys see how it looks. So as you guys can see, it loads up really, really quick. So now when I'm driving, I can go ahead and watch some movies. Now coming over here, like I said, you have your Play Store, so if you want to download some more games, you have Spotify, and you can still download more stuff into it. Keep that in mind. You have YouTube right here, so if you want to watch that, like I said, you can do this while driving as well. I don't recommend it. It's illegal and dangerous, but hey, if you want to do it, there it is. Make sure to subscribe. And another cool thing on here is we also have my remote connected to it, so I can actually move the stuff around, as you can see there. Or if we have a game, so I'm going to play it, and I'm going to show you guys this will still work. So let this load up. Okay. So as you can see, I'm using the remote. And as you guys saw, now we can utilize this as well. Keep in mind, you can also use like an Xbox remote or just get one on Amazon. I have a PlayStation 5, so that's what I have to use. And there it is, you guys. If you guys do have more questions on it, make sure to hit me up on Instagram or comment below, and I'll go ahead and answer them. But like I said, this is basically a mini computer inside. The last thing that I did want to show you guys, and like I said, this does have a lot more features. I'm not showing you guys everything. I'm just showing you guys the main things that I think you guys can utilize and that I really liked about this system. So you go ahead and go on your CarPlay, and as you can see, I have everything set up right here. I have my Onyx maps. Whenever I am off-road, I can use them here. And of course, I can do other things that my phone has. But as you guys can see, CarPlay works just fine. And I can still use my PlayStation remote, but I wanted to show you guys it is also touchscreen. So overall, on the installation, just in case you guys were curious, it's actually not that hard. In this kit, it does come with instructions, and those instructions give you like a step-by-step process. So it makes it super easy. Another easy thing is everything is plug and play, and everything is labeled. So it shouldn't be too hard for you guys, and I hope this video did help you. And another thing I did want to mention is a lot of other stereo companies that I've done before, they don't list everything out like that. Like you just kind of have to figure it out, and this one, it didn't. So I felt it's a little bit better when they provide all that. Another thing too, the installation, depending on how good you are on doing something like this, it should only take you anywhere between, I'd say, an hour and a half to 3 hours max. If it's taking you longer than that, maybe something wrong. If it's taking you faster than that, and then hey, you're a professional. If you guys do want to go ahead and purchase it, make sure to check out the description box below. I've linked the discount code there for you guys. If you did enjoy today's video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
JesseRizo is here for you. It's here for you. Like I said, it's super simple. Please feel free to subscribe.